What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Shyhammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and I'm still practicing for Ocon. I'm still playing 2400 point lists, and coincidentally, at the Dice Dojo, we usually have the same guys that come out every week. But since 9th Age has come out, there's been more interest in the community, and the Dice Dojo is a store that plays all types of games. I mean, you see people playing X-Wing there, you see people playing War Machine Hordes, you see people play 40k, and in all honesty, before my brother and I started playing at the dojo, nobody was playing Warhammer at all, Warhammer Fantasy, or of course 9th Age didn't exist at that time, so you didn't see people playing fantasy models, and then coincidentally now that 9th Age has gained popularity. You see us playing every weekend. There's been a lot more interest in the community around the dojo. So there's actually on Saturday I went to the dojo, and there was 2 people playing a game of 9th Age that I've never met before. I've never seen them before. One was playing an Ogre army, one was playing a Saurian Ancient army, and I was just like, oh shit, this is kind of cool. My brother was playing against Dan, coincidentally, and then I actually got a game against another new guy by the name of Mark, and he had an Orc and Goblin army, and I was like, this is just perfect. I want to play an Orc and Goblin army. So he wanted to play a lower point cost game, and I was like, dude, if you need to play, if you need units to play for a higher point game, use my units. I have a bunch of guys that I don't play anymore. So he's like, alright, great. So he made a 2400 point list, Orcs and Goblins. I played my 2400 point list, Orcs and Goblins, and I let him use some units that he needed to fill in some roles. And we're going to go underway here, man. Orcs and Goblins versus Orcs and Goblins. This is going to just be awesome. It's going to be walk-tastic is what it is. Alright, so for his side over here, he has a giant block of 50 Goblins, Cave Goblins with short bows. I think this one might have the Mad Kits. I'm not entirely sure. Behind him, he has a unit of 10 Goblin Spider Riders, and then over here you can see this is the big block in the front. That is a unit of Orc boys with crossbows, and they have crossbows, heavy armor. In the background, you could see on the far left he has a unit of Squig Hoppers or Nasher Dashers. Excuse me. Next to them, he has 3 Orc chariots. I know one of them's a Wolf chariot, but there's 3 Orc chariots, and yes, that is my Dragon Rammer in the middle. Actually, all 3 of those chariots are my chariots, but that is the Dragon Rammer in the middle, taking it up by. It intimidates me looking at it. Actually, on the right, he has my 2 Git launchers. He's testing them out, and he wanted to know if he should purchase them or not, and I'm like, hell yeah, you should purchase them. Over here, he has another block of 50 Goblins with spears. Behind them is a unit of Feral Orc Boar Boys. Behind them, I'll get a closer picture over here. Actually, over here he has a giant block of, like, I want to say it was like 25 to 30. I think it was like closer to 25 Iron Orcs. And then over here he has 2 Goblin Shamans with both Little Wog spells. Over here he has, on the right, he has his BSB, and then he has his General. And then, yeah, we're going to go over into my side. My side, I have Warboss Dread Irontooth, rocking his 2-up armor and his 7 attacks and his 4-up ward. Over here I got my Nasher Herd, 29 Nashers. Over here I have my A-Rock, my Gargantula. I have my 20 Forest Goblins. I have, people are complaining about the name. You know what? Harpenick's my friend. That's actually the guy that I was naming it after, but I don't like Harpenick either, so I'll come up with a better name. The thing is, guys, King Koopa still exists. King Koopa is still King Koopa, and that's the spider mount with the fat guy on top. That's always going to be King Koopa, but I'm making a new model, and I need a name for this new model, but it's basically going to be a Spider Rider with a scythe. So I still got to come up with a name for it. But anyway, it's a 1-up armor tank, basically, taking the role of Chicken Head and Koopa combined. Over here, I have on the left my level 2 Goblin Shaman Baxter. I have my level 2 Orc Shaman on a boar. That is Kabuto the Python. And then I have my Goblin Hero, my Goblin Boss, with the Skull Splitter, that is Baron Longshot, the Chariot Killer. Over here I have my 5 Goblin Raiders. I have my unit of 12 orcs with crossbows, and then I have my big block here of 34 orc Ed Bashers with extra hand weapons, and they have the BSB with them. BSB is Bebop. He has the Ironhide banner. As you can see, this is how I deployed. And the terrain, we randomly set the terrain. We just rolled for it. And as you can see, there's fields on this side over here. And he lined up just basically across from me. So that's how both sides look. I ended up bringing out a couple extra guys, so I had to put them to the side. We're going to go ahead and start off Vanguards. And for Vanguards, he went first. He moved up his Spider Riders over here. I moved up my Wolf Riders on this side. I believe I left Longshot back. And then we remembered, oh shit, we didn't get magic spells. So magic, I got Shadow Miasma, Devouring Darkness, Swarm of Insects, Curse of the Wildwood, and the Beast Within. As for my opponent, he ended up getting Night Shroud, Gork'll Fix It, Vindictive Glare, Itchy Nuisance, and then that's the tribute. And I got first turn. I dropped my whole. I didn't drop my whole army. I dropped a couple guys, then I dropped my whole army. So I go ahead and I also have 2 Git launchers, by the way. I didn't take pictures of them for some reason. But as you can see, I just kind of like started moving up. I moved the A-Rock up. I moved the Forest Goblins up. I moved the Nashers up. They're basically my first line. Once people get past that, they can get to my Orc Ed Bashers. Hopefully, they're thinned down by those 3 units. But as you can see, I just kind of moved everybody up on the left side as well. And Longshot moved up just a little bit just to get in shooting range. We're going to go into Magic. Magic, I got 11 power dice. Beautiful Magic phase. I go ahead and I throw up a couple dice onto Curse of the Wildwood. And he lets it go through. I throw it up onto one of the chariots. The closest chariot to me. So that way that chariot's going to be in trouble if it tries to charge. Over here, I go ahead and I throw up a bunch of dice onto the Swarm of Insects. He lets it... Actually, he dispels it. And that was it. Alright. Longshot, he's going to go ahead and start. He gets 1 poison shot off onto his chariot, and he armor saved it. Web Launcher is going to go. Web Launcher shooting at this giant horde of goblins, and it drifts off in between both cracks of the goblins, kills off 2 here and 3 here, and it slows down their movement. The orcs with crossbows, they decided they're going to... I mean, they started right here. They deployed right here, and they're going to shoot straight at those orcs on the hill, and they end up taking off one of the boar boys. And then over here, my Git launchers. One Git launcher misfired. The other Git launcher hits into the Iron Orcs and kills off 3 Iron Orcs. And that's going to be the end of my turn. It's going to start off his turn. Orcs and Goblins, turn 1. He is going to go ahead and charge his chariot over here into King No Name right now. And he gets in right here. That's gonna be nasty because it's gonna be a strength 7 on the charge. Over here, he moved these guys downhill, but as you can see, the hill would probably just knock them over, so he just put the one guy there. He went in the building with his goblins or archers. The other goblins are sitting still, and his Nasher herd is kind of in a bad spot. It was kind of bad deployment on his Nasher herd because they can't really jump around. They have to like whatever. He ends up moving the Dragon Rammer over this way. The other guy just sits back because he didn't want to take dangerous terrains. And that's about it. Everybody else, his Iron Orc started moving towards the Nasher herd. Magic Face, he got 11 power dice. He's going to go ahead and throw up the first spell. I dispel it with my Dispel Scroll. I'm like, screw that. So he goes ahead and he throws up, I forgot what spell it was. It was like a Hex. He threw up the, it was Night Shroud. He threw up Night Shroud. It went off successfully. And he ended up doing Dirty Thieving and getting it off on Kabuto, so Kabuto can't. He gets a -1 to his dispelling, but I still have another level 1 over there. So as for these guys over here, they're going to start off shooting. They're going to shoot at the A-Rock, and the A-Rock saves his wound. He's going to shoot his Git launcher into my Orc Ard boys here, and I believe it misses. I want to say it missed. I don't think it wounded. This one over here went for the Nashers, and it misfired. So he just had bad luck all around on his first round of Git launcher in. We're going to go to close combat. Close combat over here. I go ahead and I wound 2 wounds onto him. He goes ahead and hits me with impact hits. He hits me with the boars, and he hits me with the orcs, and he could not wound my tank. And I win combat, but he's going to stick there for a round, and that's how it looks more or less. It's going to go ahead and start off Orcs and Goblins turn 2. My Orcs and Goblins turn 2. A-Rock's charging into the spiders. my wolf boys here, they're just making a huge charge. Because if I didn't make this charge, it's like, I don't know. It's I can move closer on another turn anyways. Sounds like even if I failed the charge or whatever, it was like an 11 or something like that. And I get it. Holy shit. The A-Rock gets in over here. And this is kind of how the table looks currently. I moved up my Orc Ed Bashers because I figured they're not going to see combat otherwise. And then also because his Iron Orcs are going straight for my Nashers. I have no fear in the Nashers going against the Iron Orcs just because the fact that Nashers are attacking first, so I'll take out a good chunk of them. He does have his General and his BSB in there, which are going to take out a good chunk of my Nashers, but we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to move my Forest Goblins towards his giant blocks of Goblins just to take them out. Magic Phase, I got 4 Power Dice. I go ahead and I throw Curse of the Wildwood onto his Iron Orc unit, because I know they're going to probably charge to the next turn. And that was it. That's all I got from Magic. Long Shot's going to go ahead and start off my shooting, and he gets 2 hits onto the Dragon Rammer, and he armor saves both shots. The Dragon Rammer has just armor saved 3 times against the -2 weapon. That's crazy. As for the Orc Ard Boys, I believe. How did they get killed? I believe they actually got killed by the Orc. I'm sorry, the Orc Ard Boy shot at his Squig Herd or his Nasher Dashers, and he ends up killing 3 of them. And then no, that's not even right. Who shot these guys? I actually think it might be the Forest Goblins. I think I just didn't take a picture. Forest Goblins kill 3 of these guys. Orc Ard Boys here kill off 2 of the Feral Boar Boys here, and then the Gate Launchers are going this way, and they end up killing off 2 more Iron Orcs. The Web Launchers, or I'm sorry, there's no Web Launchers. It's going into close combat. Close combat over here, he just destroys, like, the A-Rock just kills off 5 spiders by themselves. The Goblins go, and the Goblins kill off another 3. He fails to wound me. I just win combat big time, and he's going to run away. I'm going to overrun, and basically, or I don't even overrun. I think I just stayed right here because I was figuring I might as well just redirect into the Orcs on my next turn. Over here, close combat. King No Name, he does 1 more wound. He fails to wound me, and he's going to run from combat, and I chase, and the King runs him down. I'm going to still call him Tank. Tank Harpenick still runs him down. Alright, over here, it's going to start off Orcs and Goblins turn 2, I think this is, on his turn. So he's going to charge his Iron Orcs into my Forest Goblins. I decide I'm going to flee. I'm like, fuck that shit. So they're going to go ahead and flee. He then redirects into my Nasher Herd, and it's a big charge, but there's nothing else he's going to do. He's going to take dangerous trains if he does it anyways. So he goes ahead and does it, and he actually gets in. Holy shit. And he's going to go ahead and take his Nasher Dashers charge in as well. They get in, and he's going to take his DTs, and he takes up 4 guys, which isn't bad out of like 20 that were there. So he takes 4 guys for the Curse of the Wildwood. Over here, his pigs are trying to move around my units to get to the war machines or something like that. Magic Phase, he got 5 Power Dice, Blurry Pitcher. He's gonna go ahead. I don't think his magic was very productive in this game. So over here, his Orcs with the crossbows are shooting at the A-Rock. They end up doing 3 wounds onto the A-Rock. Oh, shit. I mean, that's 20 shots, though. But damn, 3 wounds. And then over here, close combat, my Wolf Raiders. Actually, I don't think this is close combat. I think these are his guys shooting at mine. The Wolf Raiders killed the Gate Launcher on the turn before. His Gate Launcher over here is shooting at my General. And it drifts off, it comes this way, and it gets literally like a quarter of an inch away from my Forest Goblins. Holy shit, that was close. Shit. Over here, his Nasher Dashers go and they kill off 2 of my Nashers. My Nashers go and they kill off, whoa, 6 of his Iron Orcs and 2 of his Nasher Dashers. He did call out the Wog, so he's getting extra attacks. He's going to go ahead and attack with double hand weapons, and he kills off 5. His General kills off 5 Nashers, and I think he only killed off 5 Nashers total, maybe. Huh. So he killed off a total of 7 with the 2 with the Nashers. 5 with the Iron Orcs, and I stick there for a round. I believe I might be steadfast, but I still stick there for a round regardless. And it's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. The A-Rock is charging in over here onto his Orcs. My general's making a long charge into. I couldn't see his Iron Orc, so I'm like, screw it. I'm just going for his chariot. So the general's going into the chariot, and they both connected. He stands and shoots obviously onto the A-Rock, and I think I might have took an extra wound. We'll find out in a minute. Magic Phase got 8 power dice. I go ahead and I throw up 4 dice onto some bees, and I get it off. I throw it right onto his Git launcher, and I destroy his Git launcher outright. I go in for a couple dice onto Devouring Darkness. I throw it onto these guys, and as you can see, they fell into the pit, and they're no longer there. Over here, he releases his Maggots behind him, going straight into my general who got into his chariot. They both go in, they both hit the trees, and they both die on the trees, but they both hit, they both wound, and they get 2 wounds onto my general. That sucks. Over here, my shooting, I'm going to go ahead and shoot these guys into his goblins, only kill off 1 goblin. Over here I'm shooting both Git launchers into my or his dragon rammer, and it only does 1 wound. As you can see, he did do 1 wound over here onto my A-Rock. There's the ambulance, guys. Almost every video the ambulance pops up. Okay. Close combat, yeah, he does 1 wound onto my A-Rock. My A-Rock kills off like 7 or 8 of these guys, and I think he fails combat res, and he's gonna run, and when he runs I just chase him down. Over here my Nashers only killed off 1 of his guys. He goes back, he kills off like 8 of my Nashers. My Nashers are gonna go wild, they're gonna blow up, and when they blow up they start eating everybody. They eat 1 of my Forest Goblins. They try to eat Harp, or yeah, they try to eat Harp, but he armor saved it, and I think that's it. They think they possibly killed 1 more of his Iron Orcs, and then they try over here. My general kills off the chariot, and right there, I think we just call the game. And this is like turn 2 or 3, I think it is. But yeah, he has 2 units of goblins left. I was probably gonna just throw Harp right into them, and he would have had a hard time with dealing with Harp. And then my Orc Ed Bashers were coming for his really thinned out Iron Orc unit, and he kind of was just like, yeah, this is kind of a loss right now. And then A-Rock's still running around doing whatever he wants to do. So it's a big win for the Orcs and Goblins. It was fun playing a new opponent, especially somebody who's playing Orcs and Goblins. I think that we'll be able to get a lot of ideas off of each other, which is pretty cool. And I like the fact that it's somebody new at the dojo. So his brother is interested in his playing as well. I forgot what army he's. Oh, he said he's interested in. I think he said he was interested in Wood Elves. I don't know if one of them was interested in Wood Elves or one was interested in something else. I forgot. Anyways, I would like to get a game in with the other 2 guys that were playing there as well, the Lizardman and Ogre army, but it didn't happen. They were both leaving right after that game that they played. So sitting at the dojo, and we're just wondering what's going to happen. And I get a game against Dan again. And Dan's just like, screw it, let's do it. So we're going to go ahead and do another 2,400 point game, me and Dan. And he ended up bringing in a different list this time, because we had a big talk about it after the last game, talking about his combat elves, how they just weren't panning out. So he brings a more balanced list, has some magic, has some shooting, and has some good combat. And we'll see how that goes in the next game. Alright guys, I'm out. Big win for the Orcs and Goblins. If you guys have any comments or feedback, leave it in the comment section below. If you guys would like to support my channel, give me a tip. You could go ahead and go into my YouTube channel and hit the support button on the right, and I'll be putting up more videos as soon as I can make them. And until then, guys, take care and peace. Oh, one more thing, I forgot the MVP. MVP, I'm giving it to the A-Rock. He was just basically a jerk the whole game. He constantly wasted shots on him, trying to get 6s on him to wound him, and the A-Rock just ate up the Spider Riders, killed a couple goblins over on the left side with the web launcher, and then chased down a whole unit of Orc crossbowmen by himself. So yeah, A-Rock's game MVP. There was a couple good players in this game. The tank did well. He just he killed off a chariot. He was going to pose a threat to the goblins. The Wolf Riders took out a gate launcher, which was key. The Kabuto took out another gate launcher, was key, and Kabuto also took out a good chunk of Iron Orcs with the Curse of the Wildwood, and also slowed down the Chariot's movement. And then the Forest Goblin did good chaff, but not that good because they ended up getting into the Squigs. Squigs killed a good chunk of Iron Orcs, and in general killed off his other Chariot. So yeah, A-Rock gets the MVP easily. Alright guys, take care, later, and peace again.